Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we're going to be checking out a track from an act named Joyofthedizzy titled Master. And if we switch over to here, I'm keen to be listening to more of Joyofthedizzy. It's a project that Michael Landrum has been working on. My previous experiences listening to the Joyofthedizzy have been really positive. I'm liking the attention that this track has gotten so far. It's looking really, really good. We're going to be listening through this track from start till finish. You're going to hear what we think. We've got all the different links down here if you want to donate to the band or follow them on DistroKid, follow me Instagram, etc. It's good. You can even send him buy his singles at his Bandcamp. So if you want to go check out more of his music, go to his Bandcamp as well. We're gonna listen to this from start till finish. Hear what we think. Let's go. Actually, before we go any further, just something else. Shout out to Fernando for his work on the drums in this single as well. Okay, it's an interesting groove we've got here with these really intense sounding distorted guitar riffs, and just the consistency of those double kicks is splendid. Okay, it's giving me like a mid-90s kind of like hard rockish kind of vibe to it. I'm liking the double kick influences though at the same time. Really nice, simple, effective. Like it's a technically played rhythm riff, but like the harmony itself with the power chords is nice and simple and easy to follow along to. Yep, really catchy hook line as well. The melody being repeated here, it's really effective. Follow me and I'll speed faster. Right, so it's saying, yo, follow me, like, I'll take care of you. Everything will be totally, totally fine, especially with the fading laughter and all that kind of stuff. And we're back into this original verse theme here. Are we gonna have some lead lines in the guitar or something like that? I feel like this would be a really good place for us to have another additional layer there in between the chorus vocals and the verse vocals. I assume that we're gonna go back into a verse 2 stanza after this. Oh, that's cool. We completely... This wasn't what I expected, and I appreciate that. Nice change of dynamics. Cool. I enjoyed that. It was nice to have that radio filter, and there was a nice shift from what we had previously. It keeps the listener interested, not just because of the story that's being told, but also because of what they're hearing with everything else that's accompanying it. Oh, that bass is nice and thick in the mix, isn't it? Great foundation for the rest of the instruments. that was quite a bit there. Okay, so like, are they insinuating that by this person being your master, that the devil will have access to that person? That there's a group of people that are affiliated like that? Is this a track about being persuaded or seduced, corruption or something like that? It's fascinating stuff, actually. I think is why you got the master. Those backing chants come in there are a nice switch up because they're not all the time in the chorus. They're a sometimes thing. in that second half, they're really effective there just to help it loop better. When we say I speed faster as well, to have those double kicks coming with the really alternate palm muted riffs here, it's a nice transition there. Bit of vocal fry here. And back to this. This is cool. I enjoy this. He's a good songwriter. Again, like, it doesn't become predictable at any point. There's parts that transition well into each other, and even if you hear them once, it's like that there's enough time between them that they remain fresh, if that makes sense. Sick drum grooves, guy. The guy, Fernando can play the drums. Because it's not just having the right parts, but incorporate those toms in there. And that's just that little bit of X factor, and the nice bit of additional coloration in there is cool. Nice use of panning there. Wasn't expecting to. Oh. Triplet groove? I think that, I think Michael's playing the guitar. I think he was keeping with a 16th note straight groove, but I think that Fernando was doing some 16th triplets or some 8th note triplets there. So we had some polyrhythmic stuff going on there that I think was kind of fun. It was definitely interesting to listen to, and it wasn't something we had yet. Again, there's constant development and a sense of playfulness with this track, despite the heaviness of the heaviness of the themes, you know? Going back to those 16 sound kicks. And back to this. Okay. Cool, nice switch up of this group here, this harmony in the chorus section. Listening to the fading laughter, so is that to insinuate that it becomes more joyless when you're taken control of by this person? Or is this saying that the person's life was worse before they came along? Cool, man. Joyofthedizzy with Master. Nice take. It's great to hear more from Joyofthedizzy. Yeah, I never have a bad time when I listen to this act, and this track is continuing to show me more of what Michael Landrum and Echo are capable of. Because this is the conclusion. This is the conclusion to Joyofthedizzy Master. You know, if we go through the typical conclusion structure that I have, I believe the story is about someone being led astray, or maybe being saved by someone, but that savior is backed by the devil or something like that. Or maybe the devil gets involved as a byproduct of the connection that they have. There's various ways of interpreting this. Like I read at some point that the mother let the mother take its course. I'm not really sure what that means. Is the mother like the guardian or something like that? Is that another word for that? However, I liked the edginess of the subject matter. I think that Michael Landrum, as a vocalist, sung it really well. There was a vocal fry that was almost consistent with him. Interesting texture and coloration to his voice. He's comfortable within his vocal range. He has that kind of twang that I thoroughly appreciate in this kind of rock and roll metal stuff. He emoted well in a way that kind of was authoritative, especially in those chorus parts, which is important. But it was also nice to have that radio filter and the interlude bits just for a little bit of softness there, even if it was artificial, caused by the effects. It's shame on the effects there of the vocal bit, because yeah, they're gonna add that radio filter there. The structure was your traditional verse, chorus versus chorus with occasional bridges that came after the choruses. So there was like a bridge from the chorus to the... I feel like we could have potentially had like a solo section or something occasionally just to kind of add a little bit of extra coloration at a higher end. Even if it was a simple lead line just between that last interlude, and maybe over the triplet bit would have been fun. I don't know, man. Like, obviously I'm not trying to tell people how to write their music, but it just seemed like there was space for some additional element there just to kind of make it feel a little more complete. Because the song is 4 minutes 50, and while I don't feel like it dragged on or anything, there is just ways, like, I think having an additional lead section maybe in a couple of those bits, especially with like the kind of the distorted guitars, the drums, the bass and everything, there was room for that. Not everyone likes putting guitar solos in songs, which is totally fine. They just appeared to be, like, even if you just went along the pentatonic, or if you just improvised something or something like that. Especially considering the technicality of the rhythm guitar and the drum parts, you could definitely match that with some lead guitar bits. I know Michael Landrum can play, but that's cool. The structure is cool. The instrumental performances there with the guitar, the bass, and the drums and the vocals and all that were great. I don't think we needed to add any other instruments or ingredients into the mix in order for it to be meaningful or more interesting. Aside from what I mentioned about like a solo section on the guitars or something like that. You know, you had parts where we took away some of the instruments, like we had the one main sort of intro riff on the right side, like in the last half of the song, or in the last third of the song before that final chorus or something like that. And it's like that we know when to take stuff away to insinuate a change is occurring, or to like a transfer is about to happen. And I think that's really all that you need from this. You know, if you over-egg the pudding, if you overcomplicate it, it could be detrimental to experience. And we didn't have that situation here with Master. You know, like we had traditional power chords and with a really fantastic vocal harmonies there and melodies, and I also, again, I've mentioned how much I enjoy the drums. The fills, not only just the display of different grooves and fill patterns involved, as well as just the consistency of the playing. The production, the recording, mixing and mastering was great. It was great. You know, everything was recorded nicely. I could hear everything cleanly in the mix, EQing, stereo panning, limiting, you know, compression, effects, chains and stuff. I've got no real complaints. Again, the panning, it was nice when we had those. I've already said this, the guitar on the right side occasionally. So we obviously were paying attention in post-production to how to get that sounding the way we needed it to. Nice and loud without pumping. It's cool. It's great. It's a great track. Well done to Joyofthedizzy and Michael Landrum, as well as Fernando for their work on Master. But effectively, this is my review of Master by Joyofthedizzy. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show these musicians and artists some love via their various social medias and the YouTube page. Stay cool and stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as you need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I will catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.